Mr. F, sir.
You both got 8 out
Yes,
of
sir.
10.
Just enjoying the vacation, sir.
I have a job.
A bounty. On who? What's the price? Consider it done.
Drop top. Huh. Eva. Knievel. They told me stop buying all these fancy cars. They told me please take all your diamonds off. I'm getting too rich to fly commercial flights. They wanna lock me up like Suge Knight. I know they want me to go for that, but I'm too rich to put my in that. Way back I gave her back. They love my trip, you know I'm staying fast.
I'm a CEO, I keep it cordial with an artist. I just don't politic. These women been giving me compliments. Focus, I can't acknowledge this. Astonishment. Look at how the game transformed overnight. Feel like I was just getting rid of my rights. Look at how the ice hitting under them lights.
Hello?
They're here.
Who's there?
Oh my gosh, they just took Miss Brown.
Alright, listen. Go to the next classroom and hide under the desk. Alright, now listen. They're going to take you. The next important part is really crucial. You're going to yell everything you see. Hair, tattoos, scars, anything. There, I can hear them.
Dad, they're leaving. Dad, they left. Ah! Tall, dark hair, looks like he...
I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a long AP Stats semester. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you fail to reject the null that the proportion of people who think water is wet will equal the proportion of people who think that water is not wet, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you, I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you, I will find you, and I will reject the null and find evidence to suggest that the alternative hypothesis that the proportion of people who think water is wet will not be equal to the proportion of people who think water is not wet.
Good luck.
Hey, bom maestro.
be like, yo, can I get a lemonade with all this ice? You know what I'm saying?
We went to Chick-fil-A and ordered fries.
Yeah.
You already know what kind of size.
Let me get that large stuff.
It will be my pleasure to look in the When I bite into it, I'm alive. Fresh from the fryer, I don't wanna waste no time.
Job's done.
Wake up. Who do you work for?
Your mom.
That was a warning. Who do you work for? I'll do it. I swear I'll do it.
Alright. Calm down, calm down. I'll tell you. It was Forbes. Forbes sent me.
I should have known. Was it because of the water?
Yes, it was because of the water. We're spreading God's word. Water is wet.
You kidnapped my kid because they disagreed with your statement? Ms. Brown should give you a 0 in stats just for that.
We were arguing. They said water was not wet. Water is wet. Don't do it. Don't.
See, you are wet. The water is not.
What? What do you expect? I bet people are split on it. It's half and half. If not, people think that water is wet.
Oh, that's bull jive. There's no way portions are split evenly. It has to be less than half for the people who think it's wet.
Prove it.
Oh, I will. Alright, buddy. Collected some data here from some Hickory Ridge High School classes. Had total 179 responses, 74 yes, 105 no. The null hypothesis we developed, the proportion of people who think water is wet will be equal to 0.5. That shows an even split. The alternative, the proportion of people who think water is wet will be less than 0.5. That shows that more people think water is not wet. We tested our conditions. Random. This was performed on a simple random sample of Hickory Ridge High School students. Normal. N times P must be greater than 10. N times P would equal 74, and that is greater than 10. N times 1 minus P must be greater than 10. That's N times 1 minus P equals 105, that is greater than 10. Independent, the population must be greater than 10 times N, and 10 times N is 1,790. And we are confident there are at least 1,790 Hickory Ridge High School students. So the test we ran a 1 proportion Z test. In our calculator, that gave us a Z statistic of negative 2.317, a p-value of 0.01, and we used the alpha value of 0.05. So because p equals 0.01 is less than the alpha of 0.05, we reject the null that the proportion of people who think water is wet will equal 0.5, and we find evidence to suggest the alternative, that the proportion of people who think water is wet will be less than 0.5 to be true. With this data, we ran a confidence interval also. That equation, we used 0.587, which is the p-hat of no, and that is 0.587 plus or minus 1.96 times the square root of the standard error, which would be 0.587 times 0.413 is all over 179. And that would give us an interval of 0.515 to 0.639. And our confidence interval statement would then be, we are 95% confident that across the students of Hickory Ridge High School, the proportion of no responses will fall between 0.515 and 0.659.
Know what you heard, already know what it is. What are we doing tonight? We can meet up at the crib. Don't need a table reserved. There ain't no line to get in.